David, you've pretty much been in a lot of different situations. You're very well connected as an assistant coach, associate coach, as well as working in front office roles. The coaching process in the NBA is pretty popular because you got a lot of guys who have been household names kind of phasing out, and you see a lot of developmental coaches and probably unorthodox coaches becoming head coaches. In your eyes, do you think that is a thing that's going to continue?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that there's so many different ways to look at it when it comes to coaching. I mean, I like to think of coaching in general as being a leader, and you want to be, in that situation, NBA, you want to be a leader of men. And they come in, different shapes, sizes, and from different spaces. So, you look at, even today, I think it was reported that Toronto is interviewing J.J. Redick, who's never coached, to my knowledge, on any level, but they feel has an opportunity to possibly lead their franchise and lead the men that play for that team in the proper direction or direction they want to go in. I think a lot of organizations are really just looking for people that can connect and people that can, again, help lead their group into the right space. So they come from everywhere. They can come from any situation, and it's exciting. I really wish that the continuing process of some of those younger coaches, and including myself, and some of those coaches that have kind of gone through the ranks and gone through that process of coaching, especially in the NBA, get some of those opportunities as well. And I think that's very important. There is a process to it. Coaching is not easy. Leading is not easy. And, the people that have spent the time and years of their lives going through that process deserve those opportunities as well.
How did your role behind the scenes in Oklahoma prepare you on the basketball operations side for what you do being on the bench?
It helped me to understand the ins and outs of some of the decisions that are made, because it's much more depth to it than just a on-court basketball decision. There are players that at times may have played well enough to make a team that you couldn't keep. There are players in situations where you may have had someone that you ended up having to trade away that you didn't want to because of the way they fit, but there was another piece that you felt you could get that worked better. And I understood that entire process. I understood what went into the logistics of thinking through each scenario. I understood the time that it took, because again, you're forecasting when you're in the front office. You're dealing with 5 years out, 6 years out, knowing what the salary structure of your team is going to look like. So when you have to do all of those things, and I was able to learn, especially from Sam Presti, Troy Weaver, Rob Hennigan, that group, I learned from the best. And learning and knowing those things as a coach really helped me understand the differences when some of those decisions had to be made, being in the middle of some of the players that had to be let go, some of the players that had to be traded away, some of the players that we couldn't keep or couldn't get. And I had an understanding or a glimpse into understanding why that was so.
I think the great Isaiah Thomas said you understood the assignment.
Absolutely.
You worked pretty closely with both Damian Lillard and C.J. McCollum during your time with the Portland Trail Blazers. Mm-hmm. Damian Lillard, of course, singing your praises. C.J. McCollum made a jump at point guard, playing on the Pelicans with the likes of Brandon Ingram and also Zion Williamson and others. Are you impressed with that transition? And was it a light switch, or was it just a different scenery?
No, it was. Honestly, it was. In all honesty, it probably was a matter of time. When I was in Portland, we made some moves, and CJ basically was our backup point guard. And like I spoke about Jaden and Ant and Nas and those younger guys having to go through the trials and tribulations of failure and playing major minutes. CJ went through a whole lot of turnovers and a whole lot of crap playing point guard, our backup point guard, in major minutes and major situations on the Trailblazer team that needed him to basically, or wanted him to do that so that he would develop that skill. So over years and over time, he got much better at it. The reality is you get playing time and you get opportunity to fail is where you learn and you grow and you get better. It's not much different from any vocation. Someone doing an interview. The first interview versus your interview now, very different. And you only learn that by going through the process. So CJ was able to grow in that role, and I love he and Dame. Our relationship is as tight as it always will be for the rest of our lives. We went through so much and have always gone through so much and been a part of each other's lives so much. So it's great to see both of those guys grow into the fathers that they are and the husbands that they are. I mean, Damian is amazing. I talk to him pretty much every day. CJ was just in New York and came over to my house and brought his son and his wife, and we hung out for a couple days and just have a good time just being around each other. So it's great to see both of those guys grow.
Mike Budenholzer was let go as head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. Charles Lee sits on that bench as an assistant on that team. Yep. Many people, the national audience is not familiar with him, but those who know ball know him. Yeah. Do you know Charles, and what do you know about him that people should know?
Well, I know Charles, and I've never worked with Charles, but having sat in a seat similar to where Charles has sat, been through some of the processes that he's also been through, I'm aware of the things that he has had to have absorbed just being in the environment. So there's at least a baseline for what I know that he will know, for what I know the experience level that he will have, and for what I know the things that he's actually ready for, just by sitting next to Mike Budenholzer through all of this. So knowing where that floor is and how high that floor is, I know Charles is ready for an opportunity as a head coach somewhere. Will he get that opportunity? Who knows? That's really a matter of timing, a matter of some luck, a matter of someone who's in a position of power to hire someone, giving him that opportunity. And it doesn't always happen when you need it, when you want it, or when you're ready for it. So, hopefully he gets that opportunity. But I do know where the floor is as far as what I know that he has been through and knows, just because I've been through it as well. So he's ready now.
When you look at Kyrie Irving, change of scenery, now in Dallas, yeah. Did you like his fit in Dallas?
I don't think the sample size is big enough to know. It takes time. Any relationship takes time. Anytime you join, even just as a friendship, it takes time. And at the beginning, sometimes it's a honeymoon period where everything is great, and then sometimes it's not so great. And the question is how you react in those times when things aren't going the way you wanted to go. And I think Kai and the group in Dallas started to go through some of those times, so we'll see how they react from that. Kai's a great person. I know he has his things that have gone on, but I mean, I've always had an affinity for him as an individual, as a man, as a person that's growing into his own, learning about self, and he seeks knowledge, and it's more depth to him than basketball. And I think sometimes we just see Kyrie Irving, the basketball player, because he's so good at it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, damn, you're so good at that. Like, people want to see that and pay the most attention to that. And I think he has so much more depth to him and wants to be about some of those other things. So he studies some other stuff, and it is what it is. And hopefully he can find a good space within that organization and the team if that's where he wants to be. And I know Nico Harrison very, very well, and I know how diligent he will be with making sure that things are as tight as possible there. Mark Cuban also, another great person to be around, and person that will try to help push the organization forward, as well as Jason Kidd. So, I wish them all the best.
Last question. You've been checking out your son, your daughter playing basketball. When you get on the court, what's next for you?
My number's still the same. Give me a call. If you're looking for someone that has a lot of experience in the game and the ability to teach, and a willingness and a passion, and wanting to help people grow and get better. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. We all want to win championships. There's only going to be one winner every year. Everybody else ain't a loser, though. You know what I mean? So the idea is to grow every day, get better every day, and that's just what I'm doing. I continue to break down film. I continue to study different things. I watch all the playoff games. I'm even watching. I was gonna watch some of the next half on my phone, because this has turned into an all-star game for real. So, no need to watch that. But I still study, and I stay locked in with a lot of different things. So, anybody looking for someone that can coach a little bit, give me a call.
You off the hot seat.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, brother.